up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina, and I am grinning from ear to ear today because we're talking about self-esteem and self-love, as well as self-worth and self-confidence. These are all things I absolutely love, but really how they fit into the dating game, because we know it can be literal trash out there. I say all that to say self-esteem is so important to the process. It's really your overall opinion of yourself, your personal value, and your self-worth. But self-love, on the other hand, really is your regard for yourself, how you regard your happiness, as well as your own well-being. Look, I know that those two things can definitely go up and down based on your environment, based on the things that you're going through and your overall life experiences. But for the most part, we can work on it and keep it as steady as possible. And it is going to serve you well. I'm going to tell you, I done dated with and without good and healthy self-esteem. I can tell you I love it here with healthy self-esteem. It's worth having, especially in this dating game. And since dating can come with its own set of depressing mess, it can truly help us with things like talking to and about yourself with love, prioritizing yourself, giving yourself a break from self-judgment, trusting yourself, being true to yourself, being nice to yourself, setting healthy boundaries, and forgiving yourself for anything that you've done to you to reduce your self-love and self-esteem. Now make sure that you check out all items and resources that I mentioned today down in the description below, and I want to hear from you. Let me know some of the things that you're doing to increase your self-esteem and self-love and your self-worth. Help your sisters and your brothers out down below. Also, make sure that you join me in my free text community. Just text me and say, hey, Dr. Nina, whenever I go live over on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or offer any master classes or other wonderful free resources and other things, you will find out over there. So get in on it. And also get over on drninaellishervey.com and get my free 8-day supernatural video program. And also look, y'all always ask how you can help me. Just like this video. It's absolutely free. It don't hurt a thing. And it also lets you know when I'm doing certain things over here and when I have videos, because I know YouTube doesn't always let you know. So your sister would appreciate it, or your auntie, whichever one you like. So one of the first things that I've ever done for myself, and what I had to focus on when I was dating more effectively, because I've been ineffective, okay? I'm no stranger. I'm just saying. I had to learn my worth and work on it. Now, it's hard to say that you don't feel worthy and you don't feel worth it. But a lot of times this world will be hard on you. It'll tell you you don't get what you think you deserve. It'll tell you that you're not worth anything. But it's your ability with this learning of worth to know that across situations, across people, across life, that you have value, and know that value and charge it. Okay, and more. And I will tell you, that changed my whole perspective. I really had to work on learning the things I actually liked about myself, the things that I did have as strengths, the things that were great about me, and start to reinforce myself for those things, even when the world failed to do that. And the world don't owe you anything. So I will say that. Sometimes we do go through those situations where even when people are complimenting us or telling us we're great, it just never seems like enough because we don't feel like enough. And so working on that is by working on the very things that you find great about yourself. Maybe even pointing out the things you want to work on, but that you're still happy that you can value and that you love. In this dating game nowadays, the whole idea is to keep you down in the dust. And that way, people can get over on you. They can get the things that they want out of you. And also, you don't charge. They get away with it for free. Be proud of the things that you are proud of and work on the things you're not so proud of. You'll find more worth. And also, when it comes to dating, you'll be less likely to accept when somebody tells you what you can and cannot have. You'll move right along to people that know you get what you deserve. So even though I'm going to be a whole wife come December, wow, I can say that there was a time that I lived my life like I would never be found by the one. I wanted to live my life. I wanted to do things that would allow me to take care of myself, to engage in things for me, travel, see the world, have friends and networks, do nice things for myself. Look, that was even how I got into the whole self-care thing. Like, I absolutely love taking care of myself, doing nice things for myself. It taught me that when I was with a partner, that I was going to make sure that they could treat me just as well. And if not, better than I was treating myself. It taught me that self-worth. It gave me value because I wasn't just looking for or doing things just because I had the incentive of someone coming into my life. I knew what I needed and I knew what I wanted. I knew how I wanted to be treated because I was treating myself that very way. And it allowed me to be open to experiences that let me be the love and the prize. Okay. So I can honestly say one of the bigger things that have helped in this process, in the vetting process too, was actually getting to know and loving myself and doing those little things that I show you all daily that feed back into me. So not because I was going to see someone or look good because I was trying to catch someone, but because I like looking good. And now my future husband will benefit because I take good care of myself and he loves that. But what's also great is he gets the byproduct of the person who actually loves themselves, which makes a huge difference in the grand scheme of dating and also your ability to let go of people who are not for you. The more self-love you have, the more you invest in yourself, the less you will allow people not to invest in you or take care of you or do the things that they know are necessary by you. And a part of that process is that beautifying process, right? I love wearing accessories, looking pretty, wearing cute outfits, doing things for myself. But that's why I love companies like Allrate, who have wonderful and unique, beautiful jewelry designs. And they are sponsoring today's video. Now, many of you all know that some of my favorite high quality pieces come from Allrate. They're fine jewelry founded by two friends, made by women and for women. They were tired of that lower quality and overpriced jewelry market. The pieces range from classic to statement to completely original. And y'all, I still get so many compliments on all my pieces that I have by them. And I think it's because they make the jewelry that you've always thought up in your head, but you could never find. And since they carry real gold or they're made out of real gold, you can wear it and never take it off. I mean, shower, sports, sleeping, cooking, the works. And every one of their pieces comes with a lifetime warranty because they know it lasts. And there's no middleman. So these are the same traditional Fifth Avenue brands at a fraction of the cost. The pieces are made ethically, and for every piece sold, a child gets a book to further their education. The site is so simple to navigate and it's so easy and beautiful that it's easy for you to see yourself in a lot of their pieces. Their pieces are so durable and eye-catching. What more could you want? And besides their transparent pricing, Allrate has now teamed up with Klarna. This is to make their items even more accessible to all of you. Basically, using Klarna, you can shop now and pay over time. Just a more flexible way to get what you want from Allrate. For 20% off your first purchase from Allrate, go to allratenewyork.com/Dr. Nina and use code Dr. Nina. Again, go to AURATE newyork.com/Dr. Nina and use code Dr. Nina. Now, some of y'all might think I'm a good old savage after saying this, but look, a lot of times we have to move from being a part of the tryouts to holding the tryouts. Okay, hear me here. A lot of times we wake up years later in a relationship or situationship and realize we don't even like the person, let alone love them. So we've done all these tryouts. Oh my goodness, do they like me? Do they love me? And we've never asked ourselves, do we like them? Do we love them? Do they fit our standards? Do we have standards? Okay, so a lot of times I had to recalibrate that. I had to start to date myself and learn to sit in the painful silence of singledom. And I say that with a smile on my face because it wasn't painful. I actually liked myself. I built standards for myself. I figured out what I wanted for my life and whether or not somebody fit within that. Because let's be honest, a lot of times we allow people to come into our store and buy us when they have no money to buy us. We're giving ourselves away at a bargain. We're investing, we're loving, we're hoping. Meanwhile, they get away with murder and they're not even worth our time. And that's okay to say. Look, y'all know J. Cole. One of my favorite lines is, now that I'm on, I can pick and choose. Only mess with those that got to lose. I take that to heart. Look, I no longer spend my time with the people, places, and things that do not fit that bill. If I don't see them fitting in with my world, my life, my standards, and what's best for me, then I move forward. And that's okay to do, because I can guarantee you, in this life of self-preservation, others are going to do the very same for themselves. So you deserve it. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be cherished. And you deserve to have your standards met. And if that person loves themselves, they'll do the same when vetting you. But you need to worry about you. Stop getting in these busted tryouts and get down with making people try out. The next thing I had to do was learn what I wanted and stand on it. I think a lot of times society tells us what we deserve, what we want, what we should have by a certain age. But here's the thing, everybody's life is different. Everybody's setup is different. Everybody's mind is different. And I can tell y'all, when everybody wanted me married with children, I wasn't ready for that. I was the star of my own show, and I wasn't about to let the world push me into it one way or the other. Now, when my self-esteem was lower, I can remember feeling so bad, so guilty, and also so torn in not making relationships work out so that they could progress quickly to where everybody wanted me to see, or where they wanted to see me, rather. And what I learned about that situation is I would be the one living that life. And so if I didn't treasure or value myself or build my sense of self and self-worth, I would have fallen into the bucket of what some of those people were in themselves. A lot of them were miserable, unhappy, upset, and limited in their lives. And I think that's what happens in society. A lot of times when these dating gurus and lots of other folks tell us what we can and cannot have, it's because they have their own limitations. And because somebody has given them something that makes them feel more special now, they can tell the world what they deserve and what they don't. But you have to be careful about feeding into that. And the way to work on that is to determine what you want so you can be clear on it. I think a lot of times it's easy for people to tell us what we should have when we don't have any standards for what we want. And then we don't have any standards for ourselves. And when you have standards, that builds a better or higher sense of self-worth, as well as self-confidence and your self-esteem. So you want to make sure that you're working on those various things, very clear on them. I told y'all I had a list. I knew what I wanted, and I was not going to settle for anything less. And I didn't. Hello. All right. And so I will say it's important to be clear on that, because otherwise you'll get duped by the world and possibly duped by the person that tries to come into your life, because they know you're allowing any and everything to come through in order for you to achieve what everyone says you should have. But be very careful with that. The next thing that really built my worth and my self-confidence and self-esteem was really looking for the signs of knowing that I had healed from a lot of my previous situations and relationships. And also being able to look for that in dating partners, that they had healed as well. And let me say this, it's not just about them healing or you healing from romantic partnerships. It's about all kinds of relationships that you could have had. I'm adopted. I've talked about that before. And sometimes for some people, that can come with a sense of abandonment issues. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, it was just a perfect road for me. I figured that I was running away from a lot of relationships and people and situations because I wanted the opportunity to leave them before they had the opportunity to leave me. Why? Because I think it related back to my adoption and being adopted and the way that I dealt with that. And though I dealt with it in a healthy way, I've done all the therapy and the works on those various things, I realized that they can still affect you in the relationships and the attachment styles that you have. So I was a runner, and you have to be very clear and careful on whether or not you've healed, because the other person you're bringing in could also feed right into those things that you haven't healed from. So you have to look for the signs. And Exo Nicole had a article on some of the things you know are true about you when you've healed. And I agree with a lot of that list. And they include things like, you're not bitter. You're not rebounding. You own your own problems and all your own mess. You know where your problems are. You no longer measure new people by any past individuals or situations you were in. And no one can just waltz into your life and be the main attraction too soon because you're just looking for some void to fill. You can see and also possibly describe your personal growth. And you wish no ill intent or any problems or issues on an ex or a person from your past. You started to move on and heal from that and see it for what it was in order to get past it and live a healthy life overall. And when you're healed and you come together with someone else who's healed and you all can continue to heal together, I can guarantee you your self-esteem and your self-confidence and all of those things feel much better and you feel much more worthy. I had to learn how to keep my eyes peeled and my mind open. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we do not pay attention to those standards. Yet again, here come standards, right? I'm bringing those up because when we don't know what we want, we end up going with anything just because it exists. And you ain't got time for that. In dating, when you build standards, and in your life when you build standards, you feel more worthy, you feel more worth it. You feel like you have a little bit more say in the direction in which your life goes and where it's headed. Now, when I started to set those standards out and I knew what lasting characteristics I would need from someone in order to have a lasting and healthy relationship, and I was honest about that, I wasted way less time. I was able to see after a date, well, this person clearly does not have this standard and I cannot, be with them due to that. It wasn't just about them being cute, being nice, or calling me and texting me sometimes. No, it's deeper than that. It was things when I was ready, instead of just surface level dating, when I was ready for that depth, I had to look at things that were going to carry and sustain me throughout life, beyond what they looked like, beyond what they seemed to possess, but more of what would be those characteristics that would help to build a healthy and lasting relationship. And was I holding myself accountable for those very standards that I said I wanted? And when I did, I got what I wanted. The next thing I had to learn to do was take a hint and be real with myself. Look, a lot of us like to play ourselves and we play way too much. When you play yourself, yeah, the self-esteem plummets. And what I mean is I had to learn to not only fantasize and glamorize someone just because I thought I liked what they look like and they was talking a good game. I had to actually see if their words matched their actions and be real with myself about that. If they did not, I moved on. I had to learn how to do that though, because at one point I wouldn't even listen to people. It's like, oh, I really liked them. Didn't even know why I liked them, but I was just going to stick around. And like I said, you wake up one day and you decide you don't even like somebody, but you never liked them. So I had to really learn to take a hint. If somebody wasn't calling me like they said they would, texting me like they said they would, or showing up like they said they would, or even putting forth effort, then I had to take it as just that. And I could not take it personally either. Everything couldn't be something's wrong with me, that's why they're not doing it. You never know what another person is dealing with or going through. And some people choose to enter the dating world when they're not totally ready for dating. And let's be honest, some of us have done that. Some of us have not let go of relationships that, we are not fully aware that we haven't let go of completely. And then we go into something with someone else, so we don't give them our all. The same thing happens on the other end. But when I started to really listen to people, but also take heed to their actions, I stopped playing myself. And a lot of times when we play ourselves, we're the one left holding the bag and feeling bad about ourselves. So in dating, we become afraid, and then we're always saying that people are doing everybody wrong. But sometimes we allow people to play us, and we're not expecting much or having them come up to the level or the standard that we want them at. And if they don't, letting them get off the boat. That's okay too. So I had to really start to challenge myself in that way, which helped me to get better results in the end. So something else I had to learn to do was to lean into love and see what it got me at the proper time, of course, right? So a lot of times we try to avoid rejection. So I know in my generation, and I'm an older millennial, I realize a lot of times we play these games like, who likes the next person less, and whoever likes that person less wins. And a lot of times you end up losing time and you end up not even liking the person in the first place. So you done played around for 6 months seeing who can like one person the least amount. I just chose to stop playing those games because I ended up being the one with the brain issues and the problems, because I'm trying to figure out what this person is thinking, what they not thinking, or if I'm giving them too much or giving them too little. I just had to learn that a rejection is a part of the process. If I do start to fall for a person or start to like them a lot, and that's not necessarily reciprocated, even after I thought they were really earning that space in my life, I had enough sense to start to build and love myself enough to step away from that situation. Didn't mean I couldn't lean into love and figure that out. And then if it did hurt and it didn't work out, I could move on. That's also building a sense of self and self-worth and value, because you're able to pick up from situations, and rejection does build that character. Believe it or not, you cannot always avoid rejection. No matter how beautiful, amazing, sweet, and talented you might be, it still happens to the best of us. And so a part of that process is being able to accept when that happens and step away when, again, you're not getting the things that you need in order to sustain a wonderful relationship, even in a casual dating situation. So I leaned in instead of leaning out and wasting my own time. So y'all, dating can be a total mind F, but it can be totally worth it, especially when we're working on ourselves to get to the place that we want to go, if we desire to go there. Right? So make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. Peace. Just so you know, I did it. I finished the mentorship membership for you guys, and it's now live. Check the links down below to learn more about it, but it is full of courses, expert information, webinars, master classes, and everything with yours truly. So I'm so excited about this. This is my project, my baby, and I would love to share it with you. So make sure you check it out and join today. Check the links in the description for my free new Dr. Nina's Mentorship Facebook group, which is a group of like-minded individuals looking to progress, grow, and support one another along the way. The Now That's Life podcast is about to go into season 2, so I suggest you go ahead and subscribe to the podcast on all your major podcasting platforms. All descriptions and links for that and my free supernatural video course are found below. Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.